Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Fargo's Eternity Mode. This video will be a bit different from the others in the series in a few ways. Firstly, I have updated to 1.4.4 because for some reason one of the Fargo's mods were broken in the older version. Second, we are going to go from the Wall of Flesh to beating all of the mech bosses. So it's going to be a lot more footage condensed down, so expect a lot of post-commentary this episode. Anyway, let's get to it. First things first, I wanted to reforge my Knight's Edge since I love the changes that they made to it in 1.4.4. In order to do that, I used a shimmer pool that I had to cheat into the world since it's the only way for me to get it. Anyway, I decided to use the shimmer to get some of the consumables and reforge my weapons. Then I decided to finally do what I've been putting off for ages, that being creating a volcano trap. I wanted it close but out of the way, so I put it inside my arena. While building the trap, goblins showed up, so I made them disappear. Then I added wires and a lot of actuators so that I can hide the trap away whenever it's not needed with the flick of a switch. I also made the room underneath look a bit nicer, and I thought about how ugly the elevator entrance was, so I gave it the exact same stone slab treatment. After that, it was time to prepare for the Wall of Flesh itself, so I used the Eternity Advisor, which was suspiciously not working. But I moved on and made a double obsidian instabridge. Thankfully, Fargo's does all the work for the Hell Bridge so that I could just start fighting it right away. Now, as you can see, the Wall of Flesh doesn't seem to be very difficult, and it also doesn't have a resprite like all the other bosses in Eternity mode. You'll see why that is later, but basically I managed to die of stupidity the first try and beat it easily the second time. I ignored the oddly easy fight and took the pawn hammer to the Crimson. We get our ores, which we completely forget about because they're interchangeable with modded crafting. But you see, I'm not poor, so I use a golden 5 bobber, incredibly efficient, very attractive fishing rod to get all the ores I need without the use of manual labor. This took a lot of fishing in a lot of biomes, which, let me be clear, was not the fault of the ultra gilded quintuple line mega fishing machine, which you can buy today for $99.99. Anyway, I got the ores and was about to make titanium armor when I had the brilliant idea of going for frost armor instead, which in this version is craftable with just some titanium and frost cores. Before I went out to fight and probably die to ice golems, I visited the young brewer for some flasks, getting a 30 stack of cursed flames and ichor, because on any given day I want to have the choice between pea and acid. I rebuilt my snow NPC's homes since the Crimson had taken over the snow biome. I even got a frozen key during that, for whatever reason. Once I got the pylon set up, I started the blizzard and fought the ice golems I needed, which went strangely well, and I even got an ice feather. Taking the frost cores and the titanium, I crafted my stylish blue frost. Okay, I'll stop. I still need souls of flight to make my frost wings, so I took my gravity potions and flew, only to find nothing, so I got bored of waiting and started to fish in the sky. But I guess the top of the line golden fishing rod was so powerful that it attracted wyverns, so I promptly harvested their souls. After culling one of the sky's most endangered species, I go home and craft frost wings, as well as a titanium pickaxe, and finally a titanium repeater, which would be my go-to weapon for early hard mode. Now that I was geared up, I wanted to move my NPCs away from the hollow that had engulfed their living space, if you could call it that. So I thought, what's better than living underneath a tree with 0 living space? That's right, living inside a tree with moderate living space. And that's what I created. So here's a quick montage. And now it's done. Just don't look at the leaves up top or else you will mysteriously vanish, just like my motivation to build up there. Anyway, I have to go to the ocean by foot because it was covered in crimson and the pylon doesn't work anymore. I fixed it by just moving all of the ocean NPCs up, and then went fishing for a weapon that kinda sucks called the Blade Tongue. I get it almost instantly because of my amazing fishing rod. Half off, by the way. So I go back home. Conveniently, I also got a pirate map while I was at the ocean, so I started the pirate invasion. Thankfully, my volcano trap worked very well, so there was no issues, and I even beat the ships without any trouble. With the invasion evaporated, I turned my attention to the Queen Slime, which means I need to go into the underground hollow. And you already know what that means. Now it's time to fight the queen. Oh, it was really that easy. Well, time to not worry about the difficulty and get a dual hook from mimics, which are also easier than pre-hard mode mimics for some reason. Again, I thought nothing of it and started preparing to create a crimson AFK farm. And while I did that, I finally found the wizard. After a while of searching for a good spot, I just threw down a nuke and began creating it. We got a crimson key, let's go! After getting the souls I needed, I go home only to find the traveling merchant selling me a strangely boss summon shaped object that I'd never heard of. I just had to see the boss, so I eagerly went to the ocean and... What the heck? Huh? Yeah, we don't talk about that. Spawning back home, I look at what was craftable and create the Sergeant United Shield with all of my remaining traveling merchants, meaning that I couldn't try the fight again until another one stops by. Instead of waiting around, I go underground to create my hollow farm. By the time I finished AFKing, the pirates had come for round 2, but mysteriously vanished. I had to wait a while until finally a traveling merchant spawned, and I got the banished baron summons that I needed. So I died. But during that fight, I actually decided to use my second brain cell, and realized that the fight gives a debuff, making it impossible to fight outside of water. Then came attempt number 3, and I'll give you my raw reaction for this. Dude, why does this guy have a nuke? Oh my god, what is this? Is there a good underwater weapon against this guy? Because I don't know any underwater weapons. Okay, he's doing more bombs. And I am very much not having a fun time here. For a first attempt, this is going okay. Nope, it's not. Never mind. This is good old eternity mode. Oh, what the heck? Wait, what? Okay, now it goes on land. And he has a laser. So yeah, that fight was kind of crazy as someone who never even heard of that boss before. So I did the most sane thing someone would do when they see a boss use a laser. Get the Rod of Discord. I realized after a bit of AFKing that my farm wasn't big enough to spawn Chaos Elementals, so I started to expand it, and then this happened. What? Bro, what? What is my luck? But clearly it wasn't enough since I died 2 more times to the Baron. And finally, after getting destroyed by the twins, I had a realization. Hold on, is Eternity mode on? Bro, it wasn't active? Okay. I did not realize that switching to the new version disabled Eternity mode. Oops. Yep, that's right. I've been cheating this whole time without even knowing it. I ignored all of the signs, including the easy boss fights, incredibly easy mobs, lack of Eternity mode sprites, and the broken Eternity Advisor. Speaking of which, it thinks that I'm still fighting the Trojan Squirrel, which is the first boss in the game. So I thought that it would probably remember my progress if I just beat the Wall of Flesh, which, as you probably picked up on, I beat illegitimately. I didn't really want to put on pre-hard mode gear for the sanctity of the run. Get mad at me all you want, but I am someone who despises having to lose to bosses I've already fought. With that said, I did die to it a couple of times, but in my defense, how was I supposed to beat it on 2 FPS? So I turned off frame skip, and that fixed the lag, and then something insane happened. Okay, it's better, I can see what's happening. I'm not doing well, but, you know. Okay, I just barely dodged it. No! 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 What? Oh my god! No way! No way! We died at the same time! That's insane! When you watch that clip, some words probably come to mind. Clutch, amazing, handsome, but I prefer robbed. You see, the Pylon Cleaner is an Eternity Mode exclusive that will clean any evil biome near pylons, which would have saved me so much time. Not only that, the advisor still didn't update its progress, so I still have to refight every pre-hard mode. Oh, hey, it went straight to the Deviant. But what's that extra item it's recommending? The Omni Station. It's an upgrade to my infinitely placeable semi-station, and it's way better. So I got all the materials and crafted it. It seems to be spammable, and the more I have the better, since every time I touch it, it gives me honey healing. Then I prepared even more to completely crush the Deviant, and got the Daedalus Stormbow. Okay, she's dead. Now the advisor is finally giving me some advice on the Banished Baron. The only problem being that I still need to kill the Eternity Mode version of Queen Slime. So here's that. After dying to her 11 times, I was finally victorious, and while doing so, crafted some new boots, so hopefully mobility won't be an issue. For the next boss, I would need to do some grinding, starting with the grind for the Crystal Assassin enchantment, which is basically a Shield of Cthulhu upgrade. I had made a new area for extra NPCs to go in the sky so that I wouldn't have to worry about making it look good, and used the sibling pylon to have easy access. What the heck? What? I had to do all of this to get rid of the old NPC area because I needed to kill unicorns, but NPCs decrease spawn rates. After that, it was an easy hour of grinding, and I was able to make the Crystal Assassin enchantment. Next up was the Mithril enchantment, which needed me to kill dark mummies for the Onyx Blaster, and I decided to get 2 of them so that I could use one against the boss. The recipe also called for the Clockwork Assault Rifle, so I had to grind the Wall of Flesh, but after a few kills, I got it. For the last gun, I needed the Traveling Merchants, and I found out that I could have just crafted them from Skeleton Merchants, which would have made it a lot easier, especially since I have a lot of them, because I never see daylight. After that, I crafted the Mithril enchantment, which allows me to shoot really fast for a bit after not shooting for a couple seconds. I also got the Wizard enchantment to enhance the Mithril one, but I don't want to bore you more than I already have, so I won't go into all of the different things I crafted and combinations I tried. For now, it's time for a boss montage. Wait, I actually did it? Now that I've defeated it, it's time to try and destroy the destroyer. Okay, since throwing myself at the boss didn't seem to work, and I'm not very smart, it's time to see what the internet recommends.
I'll be using two weapons during this fight, those being the dart rifle with curse darts and infamously good loadout against destroyer. Of course, there is also the storm bow, but we don't talk about that.
I'm sure that now that I have the dart rifle, I'll easily kill this thing. So apparently I was supposed to use curse darts. I guess it's time to lock in. Now that I've beaten the destroyer, it's time for the twins. But it looks like there's some new things to craft. The sharpshooter's essence shouldn't be too difficult to craft. All I need to do is rip a bee open, condense a painter into a gun, and fish for the most disgusting bow ever. Done. Now for the bionomic cluster, it's probably the biggest craft I've done so far, so I'll just edit down the grind for you and your TikTok starved brain. And wow, I crafted it in record time. Just kidding, it took me 3 hours of grinding. I try to talk to the twins, but they don't seem to listen to diplomacy, probably because they don't have ears. So I made the Mega Shark and start pulling the trigger. Oh my god, that was so clutch! With the twins thoroughly blinded, I start to go after Skeletron Prime, the final boss that I need to defeat in this video. I died. Okay, so I go to the underground jungle and find Life Fruit, and finally get max health plus the Shimmer consumable. Now there's nothing stopping me. was that easy? With the final boss of this saga beaten, I craft a few things before ending the episode, including the minecart upgrade kit, Aeolus boots, Excalibur, pickaxe axe, and finally, the true Knight's Edge. Okay, but yeah, that's gonna end this longer episode of Terraria Fargo's Eternity Mode. I hope you enjoyed this because it took a lot longer to make, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.